Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to give me my $40 or do you not?
I'd be glad to give you $40. You've
Okay.
never asked me directly for $40, Phil. All you've done is lie about me.
I've sent you multiple emails. I've shown it on video.
You've never sent me.
Do you want to send me? Do you want to give me my $40 in my hand, or do we want to walk off? Because I do not have time for your bullshit.
Philip.
You can give me $40 now and shut me up, or I can walk off because I have things that I need to do.
bclaymore@gmail.com. I've asked you many times.
I've sent it to you on Patreon multiple times. I don't know your Gmail.
bclaymore@gmail.com.
I've sent it to your Kickstarter. I've sent it to your Kickstarter multiple times, multiple messages.
Let me ask you this, Philip. Is that a reason to just attack me out of the blue?
Attack for you for what?
That you made up?
What did I make up?
Really? Your very first video about me was completely invented, and you know that.
Which one?
I had no idea that you were this crazy SJW.
State something that I states. You just engaged me.
So you can put it on your video. That's right. I want to have a conversation with you because you're not man enough.
I just want my $40. I have things to do. Are you going to give me my $40 now?
Let me ask you a question.
Are you going to give me my $40 that you owe me now, or should I just walk off?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, then I'll just walk off.
Philip, I'd like to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you unless you have $40. Okay, I'm going to call the police then.
For what?
So I'm getting my guest room ready because my parents are coming tomorrow to stay with us for a few days to help get the house ready. And my parents are very religious, and I want to be respectful of that, especially as I know, when you travel, most hotels always have the Bible in one of the drawers. So Tyler and I aren't religious in the standard sense, and we don't have a Bible about, but we do have the next best thing. I think it'll work.
Good morning, comic book fans. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I am pretty tired. I went out to a concert by Maná last night, who is like one of Mexico's biggest bands. And holy crap, I mean, they filled up a whole freaking arena. And I've never seen that. Like, I mean, the energy level was so high that like it makes American concerts look like boring. I mean, it was crazy. So I went, that didn't get out till about midnight. I mean, they go late. So, and there were literally taco stands lining the streets, just like set up in the middle of the street, like with like a full on like rotisserie thing. Like they're peeling the meat off, just like fresh right there. Just super amazing. So thank you to the taco Americans out there. You know what? When everybody always makes fun of stuff and they goes like, "Oh, the taco! Oh, you can't say taco. That's racist." Like they literally set up taco stands in the street. I mean, they are obsessed with the tacos. It is absolutely true. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm super tired, but gotta stream anyway, my friends. Right? Gotta get this Dino King sold. No, I'm just trying to get my watch hours up over here because I need about 750 watch hours to enable ads. So we got the soft monetization, which means we get super chats and we get memberships on here. But so you guys can join that if you'd like. But for ads, which I really want for my comic review stuff, I gotta just like spam myself until I get enough watch hours out there. You can alternatively also, like if I'm offline and you just like want to leave a YouTube window rolling in the background, I've got like playlists of all my reviews and stuff. You just click on one of those and just like let it roll. That'd be cool too. That helps. So we're getting there. getting real close. I mean, we're going fast here, and of course, just doing extra Saturday streams. I might even do a Sunday stream at this point. Will help. So Drake, hi, thank you for being a channel member on both channels. Appreciate it. How am I supposed to read the book for tomorrow with all the streaming? If you guys don't know and are new to these parts, we have a book club, and the book club is running in the Holy Legion Discord server. So we pick our books usually for the month. I just put up the October reads. I want to start putting up the reads a little earlier than this. I kind of talked about it, so you guys kind of had a little heads up. And of course, we got a pick from one of the members, and of course, channel members. Like, if you want to pick something, if you want to read something, I will prioritize you first. And if the Holy Legion members want to recommend something, I'm trying to accommodate everybody. I mean, eventually, not going to be able to accommodate everybody, obviously, as it grows, but it's a cool thing. And here's the Discord link, and just ask to join the book club. I'll give you the book club role in there. If you're a Subscribe Star member in there, also let me know, because there's a special Subscribe Star role, Legionnaire, because of course I make make jokes out of everything. So do let me know so I can add you to that. And I'm just trying to so the subscribe. Thanks for posting the Subscribe Star link, Fiona. Appreciate it. Baron got his hat today. So these hats went out to the $20 members. I got a new $20 member recently, and I feel kind of bad because it's you're not going to get the hat because I've already made my hat run. But I'm going to try to do some cooler things. I mean, we did one exclusive trading card last year. I'm thinking, I had a thought while I'm laying in bed unable to sleep, because I never am able to sleep. My mind goes, and my thought was I might take the Sashi covers and do a Sashi cover trading card line for Subscribe Star members. And I don't know what tier I'm going to give them to or how that's going to work. But I'm going to try to, make it as good as possible. Another thing I was thinking about doing is I get, I've got these floppy comics and I review a lot of them. I might just start sending them out to random Subscribe Star members too. Because, this is why I'm actually streaming today. These are Ditko books, and these go up on Kickstarter, and they usually send me 2 or 3 copies of every book when they come out. So I was like, okay, well, I can just send these out to Subscribe Star members because I've already got 2 other copies of those books. And then I've got a bunch of other comics that they just pile up here with my reviewing. So I might as well do that. So that, I'm trying to think about creative ways to do things and get some more content and just some value for you guys, just to make that happen, because that is something where I really wanted to cook and really wanted to get going to that 300 subscriber level. And we're doing well. So this week we started the month at 23 subscribers, and we are up at 29 subscribers now. So that's doing extremely well on that level. And so this is the Subscribe Star if you're not on it. Basically, and tell me what would be useful for content and stuff, because right now I put up a video. I did an after action campaign video about my Flying Sparks companion. Just kind of go over the business developments and what happened on that. I've got a Zorro short. It's a short right now, but it's a serial that I'm just putting up. I'm going to be, I don't know how often I'll do it. I'm pretty excited about it, so I might put up another one next week. And then, of course, as I get comics made, we are working on that. I think I mentioned to my Subscribe Star people in a video the other day, the 2 short comics I did, the artists were so expensive on that. It literally took, I think, 6 or 7 months worth of the Subscribe Star funds just to make those short comics. So art's expensive. You got to remember that. I'm going to try to provide prose as much as I can in the meantime. The other thing I want to get back to is writing short stories in the Rizlandia universe, because I want to build that out more, since I'm kind of working on a comic for that. And of course we got that whole series coming to a big epic sort of what do you call this? I don't want to call it conclusion because I might not conclude it, but it's a big epic swell. What do you call this? Rising action? No, it's past the rising action. What is it? It's introduction, rising action, climax. Climax is the word. A series orgasm, as you will. And so yes, so this is I want to build out that world a little more and things like that, because it's a lot of fun. So that's how tired I am. I'm trying to think of words right now. It is what it is. So cool. And that's kind of my thoughts on things. So I might start with these. Just hit it. If you put your address in there, you have to put your address in there. And if you did, I'm going to probably give out these Ditko books, because Ditko does these independent books. So this is by Robin Snyder. It's called Out of This World, and they have a smattering of like old stuff that was published by Charlton back in the day, and then some new stuff that you kind of find some random stuff. This is Ditko's 32-page series, which of course is 32 pages, that he did in 2015, a couple years before he died here. And he was just doing his new comics like this. And this is, and there's a lot of these. I've got a full like collected edition version of those also that they released like in volumes. But I've got multiple copies of these, so I figured I'd send them out to show my gratitude towards Subscribe Star supporters. I really appreciate you guys doing that. And the reason I'm on Ditko right now is this book came out last week. It's called Working with Ditko by Jack C. Harris. Jack C. Harris was an editor and writer at DC Comics, First Comics, Archie Comics, Eclipse Comics during the 80s and 70s. And so I'm almost done with this. As you can tell, I've got a few pages left. I started reading this, and like he starts mentioning all these books that Ditko did that I'm like, I don't remember that. And then actually one of them was unpublished. I'll get to that in a second. But there's a lot of uncollected Ditko books that are out there. And I've got a spreadsheet, of course. His nephew, Mark Ditko, gave me these spreadsheets, or they're not even spreadsheets, Ditko. I want to make them into spreadsheets. If anybody knows how to like make a Word document into like a spreadsheet style checklist easily, or just wants to do it so we can like do this, I'd actually like to make a full checklist of all of Ditko's work to see what's been collected and what hasn't, in order to like, if there's stuff out there that hasn't been collected, which I found some stuff which I think isn't, I would like to publish those and collect those. That's going to be something I'd like to do also. You can do that? Would you like to do that? Is that fun for you? If that's interesting, if you want to do that, like here's everything. So it's like, you see this, and they've got lists of where it's like kind of reprinted. And so I don't know the best way to format this, but this goes into the 70s until 2001. So you got a Ditko interview of Comic Fandom Monthly fanzine. I mean, I'm never going to be able to find that, but I hope I can. And some of this stuff is hard to find. Now, the 72 stuff, most of it's done through Charlton, and I think those got reprinted finally in this one. Is this 1972? 1972, yeah. So all of his 1972 Charlton work got reprinted in this, which I was actually going to put as a book club read, but it's a little expensive. So I was like, maybe I'll be nice to you guys and not do that. And it's kind of big. So those all got reprinted here. So 72 is now reprinted. And I know they're going through Snyder and Rob Schroeder and reprinting all of his stuff through different years. I think they're doing 73 also for his Charlton work, which is cool. So you get through this and you see that like he does a bunch of Charlton work. Here we are, and he's got 74. Maybe they can do 75 also. That'd be cool. Then he starts working for DC again. And this stuff's gotten collected in some omnibuses. And I need to go through and like do formal videos of like how to collect Ditko. But part of that's going to be getting the checklist done so I can figure that out. 76, he's working for DC Comics. And a lot of this stuff is collected, and there's like Ditko omnibuses for the 70s stuff. I'm just going to have to go through and like see. I'm going to check off what's in what. Wally Wood did a two-line promo blurb by Ditko. Interesting. So this is pretty complete because a 2-line promo blurb is not much. Adventure Comics. This is Adventure Comics is DC. But then he gets into stuff that like this was talked about in the Working with Ditko book. Marvel stuff, DC stuff. So we're into 81 now. And Ditko just starts to work for these like indie companies pretty soon. Like this one, Astral Frontier. This gets in, it's in Revolver #1. So I've got that. This is reprinted in Steve Ditko's 80-page Missing Man package, which I have. Captain Victory. Fantasy Illustrated, The Djinn. Like this, I don't know what the hell this is. let me see if I can find it on eBay. For instance, like this is something like, what is this? Fantasy Illustrated 1. Let's see if it's there's a Frazetta Fantasy Illustrated too. This is called from New Media. Craig Russell, Volume 1. Is this it right here? Let's find out. So there's all these weird comics that like Ditko just like he was just a workhorse. And I like that about him. That's why I like him. So number 1 right here. This is it. Steve Ditko. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to bid on this. Don't bid on this. $7 shipping. There's got to be a better one. Let's see if there's cheaper. Where was it? So I know what the cover looks like. I can. This is cool. What's this? Sci-Fi Fantasy Red Band? That looks cool. This is the rabbit hole you get into, right? eBay. Gosh, this is very difficult because Fantasy Illustrated is could be anything, as you can tell. So this is the cheapest one. And it looks like $7 shipping is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to buy it. Hopefully this doesn't show my credit card information on screen. I'm going to take it off screen. In the interest of Ditko completionism, let's do this. Cool. Oh, now it sent a code to my phone, so I have to put that in. Jeez, freaking pain in the butt. But I've got everything two-factored because, like, there's just too many weirdos who want to get me. Nobody can log into anything. All right, so I'm buying this new Fantasy Illustrated right now, and this is what we're gonna do on the stream today. This is probably just buy a bunch of random shit. Oh crap! I didn't mean to do that. Shit. This is how it. I think this is okay. It didn't show anything. Let's see. Let's put it on the Amex business card because this is a business expense for my new channel. So we go through here, and then there's, let's see, what do we got? Wits End. There's a complete Wits End, and I'm gonna need the channel to make more money to buy the complete Wits End, I think. Oh, this one's not that bad. Volume 2. Oh, there's 2 different volumes. Jeez. Wits End hardcover. Best of Wits End. I don't want the best of Wits End. Here's the hardcover. I don't think it is a volume 2. I think it is a volume 1. It's $200 though because it's been way out of print for a while. But Wits End was a Wally Wood publication in the 70s and 80s. And here it is. It's not just Ditko. It's got awesome stuff in it. Issues 1 to 7, 8 to 13. This is it. And let's 66. Let's see. Thunder Agents Comics. Wallace Wood was fed up with the formulaic restrictions, censorious nature, and onerous denial of creators' rights in mainstream comics. So he published his own magazine. Became a cauldron of bubbling creativity for Wood and his cartoonist friends to present their own personal work without regard to commercial restraints. So he's got Frank Frazetta, Al Williamson, Dan Adkins, Gary Morrow, Reed Crandall, Ralph Reese, Archie Goodwin, and Angelo Torres. Wow. Later issues, Steve Ditko, Harvey Kurtzman, Will Elder, Art Spiegelman, Don Martin, Roy Krentel, Vaughn Bodie, Jim Steranko, Jeffrey Jones, Nick Cootie, Howard Chaykin, Tina Robbins, Bernie Wrightson, and dozens more. Oh my God. What a A-list. So all 13 issues are collected in this right here. And wow, I want this, but I've never found one under $200. I'm gonna add it to my watch list. Someday the channels will just fund these things, and I'll just make reviews of these like random indie esoteric projects like this. Does the best of Wits End have all the Ditko stuff in it? Is the real question. I don't know. And that means I don't want to buy it because I hate best of collections that don't collect. It's like, why not just collect everything? What are you doing? But that's what they do. So I don't have Wits End yet, but I would like it. Wits End number 12, produced for Wood in 67. Blue Ribbon Comics from so he did the cover only on this one. I don't care about that. I'm not going to buy things just for a cover. Thunder Agents cover. Warp. Warp is a science fiction comic book that actually was listed in here on the Working with Ditko. And that Warp was like it originally started as a play. And so what happened was there were some playwriters who were very excited in the 70s, I think, about Doctor Strange and Captain Atom. And so they decided to make their own play, and they did 3 plays. And yeah, that's right. By Trop Grift, the variant cover especially is very important. I think Sally Forth was in Wits End. So, but the play, like they did, so these guys were really arty like me, like where they do random things that are like not a good idea to make money, but like it's like artistically satisfying. I do a lot of that. I was just talking to Drake about this because he was messaging me about the roles we play, my romance novel, and I'm like, it's such a cool concept, and the reason I had to write it was such a cool concept, and it was so different than anything else out there. And I just had to do it. And like my mind just went, I have to do this. And so I did it. And Drake's read it, and he's like, it's good. I'm like, I know. And he's like, and I'm like, but the problem is it's not going to make money. And so this was one of those. Warp the play was one of those deals. And so they did 3 interconnecting plays where you had to watch all 3 plays to really get the full story. Very innovative at the time they did this. Very different type of stuff. So it's like a serial play almost. And so then that was revived as a comic book. And so they took the world of those plays and fleshed them out as a science fiction comic book. It's like, wow, pretty cool. So I'm going to now look for Warp number 2 comic. Let's see. Warp 2, 8, 9, and 10. Here's Warp number 2 on eBay. And it looks like Ditko only did a few issues, I think. Let me confirm that. Warp. The Time Warp. That was DC Comics. So Warp was 2, 3, and 4. Time Warp, as you see, comes up here too. So this is Warp though. And number 2 is right here, but here's Warp number 2. But I have to find number 3 and 4. Warp Lot Comics 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, this is a good find right here, because that's $10 for 4 comics. And I don't think I have this, so I think I'm gonna get it now. Nope, I don't have it. I don't think these have been reprinted. I wonder who owns the rights to these. Be interesting. So gonna buy this on eBay too. While we're here. Cool. And this will get me all the Ditko stuff. There's a lot of unpublished Ditko, or like unreprinted Ditko stuff. It's annoying because I don't like having single issues, but this is what we got to do to be the expert. And I'm going to be the expert. I already am the expert. But I mean, I have to read everything, right? So, okay. So we go back to our spreadsheet. There's a lot of stuff he just did in here that was like Warp was one of them, and that's actually listed in the book I'm reading, Working with Ditko. That's where this is coming from. If you just tuned in, what happened was, and the reason we're going through this like autistic like eBay stuff is I am reading a book called Working with Ditko by Jack C. Harris, who was an editor at DC Comics and a writer at DC Comics and First Comics and Archie Comics, and he worked with Ditko on a lot of freaking projects. And so this is just like a history book, basically. And he goes over it. And I'm fascinated with a lot of this stuff I've not gotten of Ditko's work. And he's going to be coming on the channel on Thursday. So we're going to be doing an interview with him This week's going to be a big interview week. Everybody's going to be annoyed by me on the main channel. But the people who actually care about comics and things about that are going to be extremely happy. I'm going to have Jack C. Harris on. This guy's like, he's old. He's worked at all the companies. He's done all these cool things. And worked on House of Mystery. It was his big editing assignment. What a cool assignment that is. House of Mystery is like some of the best DC stuff ever. And he of course worked with Ditko a lot. So he's coming on Thursday. We're going to help him sell some of these books working with Ditko, because I love this book. I'm so excited by it. And then we are going to have Dan DiDio on Tuesday. And Dan DiDio, of course, headed DC Comics for years. And many say ruined DC Comics. I know that Yellow Flash is already DMing with me saying, I'm gonna super chat and make you ask these questions, like gotcha questions to poor Dan DiDio. But Dan DiDio right now is working on something different, which is kind of cool. And the reason I'm having him on is not really his DC Comics stuff, but I picked this up off the shelves. And this is Ancient Enemies. And so he made it's a superhero universe, but it's like set in a post-apocalyptic science fiction universe. So aliens show up, and then that like starts this age of heroes, basically. And if you notice, it's Frank Miller Presents. So Dan DiDio is running the publishing line for Frank Miller, who's just doing whatever the hell he wants right now. And that's awesome. I'm not a huge Frank Miller fan in the sense that, like, I think his work's too gritty and dark. But I do like that he's got an independent spirit. He's, kind of more on the conservative side. And so, and he started his own publishing venture, which is just his own deal. And so DiDio's running this, and he's actually writing his own comic. And I think the final issue of this comes out next week. So interesting stuff. I've not actually reviewed it yet. I read it, but I read it months ago because he was supposed to come on the channel like when I think issue 2 or 3 came out. And then like we couldn't come up with a time. And so I forgot about it. So I didn't actually review it. I'm going to be nicer when DiDio's here. It's okay. It's fine. I don't have a problem. I don't dislike it, but I'm not like wowed by it either. So, but I'll be nicer about it when he's on. So it's okay. So so there's another one, Blue Ribbon Comics. So there are a bunch of comics that Ditko did. So here's Renegade Press, and this is a book called Murder. And this is Robin Snyder. You've got issue 2 here. Edited all of this stuff. And it's not all Ditko stuff. And then we got Return of Skyman from Ace Con. Used to just random stuff here. Return of Skyman. We got What is the Face? We got this is one that Random Dude did. Weird Comics. And that was in the 90s. We got Kill the Face. At Ditko, The Safest Place. And then he did The Fly for Archie. This is Red Circle Comics, is Archie's deal. And he actually he did all the way through issue 9. And so I've got that whole stack right here of those. And then Robin Snyder also ran a magazine called Revolver for a while. And Revolver, you see, it's science fiction stuff. How cool is this? And Ditko did that with the Jack Harris guy. And I've got 6 issues of that. And I've got a Revolver annual called Frisky Frolics, also by, and look, Alex Toth did this freaking thing. I mean, how cool is that? I've tried to get Robin Snyder on the channel, but Robin Snyder, who did all these indie comics in the 80s, is like, he's like 80, and he's just like, he can't get on the internet well. So that's that. So these are like some of the 80s comics I already got that were indie and not published, but I missed a few of them, like Blue Ribbon Comics. I never was able to get Coyote by Marvel. I don't have that. So some of the stuff in here, like Avengers Annual, that's going to be in the Epic collection, so I'm just not going to buy those. A Coyote might not ever get reprinted. What the heck is Coyote? See, this is the type of stuff you run into. It's like, what is this? ROM, Superman, US #1. What's US #1? Hollywood's Thunder Agents. War of the GoBots. Like what? I remember the GoBots. They were Transformers knockoff. Amazing Heroes, right? Charlton action featuring Static. Static's amazing. That's my favorite Ditko deal. GoBots on Earth. Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe. Let's see, ROM. I'm just looking for indie stuff because all this stuff, like ROM's getting reprinted in an omnibus. Tales of the Mysterious Traveler, number 15. Like, Charlton still existed at this point? Like, I didn't know. Interesting. So, Cracked. Oh, Cracked magazine. Wow. That's interesting. But these are all one-pagers, so I'd have to buy all these books for a one-pager. That's tough. I don't know if I'm going to do that. He did Indiana Jones. I've got those, actually. Manimal. It's a cover. The Outsiders. That's DC Comics. DC Comics. More Cracked one-pagers. You need a 5-pager in this one. Blundercats. So that's making fun of Thundercats, I guess. Blundercats. He had a parody just like me with Blunder Island. How exciting. As he gets older, he does less of this stuff. So there's less weird indie stuff that you'll find here. Daredevil, random Daredevil issue, which I've got in the Epic collections. So I've already got that for sure. Random DC stuff doesn't quite look. Art Tiver did the inks on this one. That's cool. He inked Ditko. We should have Art on to talk about that. That's cool. Action Comics Force 642. A lot of that stuff's not collected because DC sucks at collecting stuff, unlike Marvel's. The Destroyer Marvel Magazine, number 4. 6-page story. Robin Snyder's The History of the Comics. These are just like random things. 3D Substance. What is 3D Substance? I'm going to have to look that up. Battle Mania from Valiant Magazine. What is Battle Mania? Cracked Monster Party. See, there's all this random stuff I just never found. 3D Substance number 2. I'm going to look up 3D Substance because there's a lot of Ditko pages. Let's see what it is. Let's go to eBay. "3D Substance number 2. eBay's loading. Oh, here it is. Oh, you have to have 3D glasses to actually even look at it. This is funny. Here it is. 3D Substance number 2. There's number 1. $45. Jeez. So it looks like it went 2 issues. This one's not bad. $15. $15, $20. Let me look up number 1 because number 1, Substance number 1. Here's one. Not bad. $15. So there's that one guy who's selling it way too much. Combined. I wonder if this person has 3D Substance number 2 to combine the shipping with. Yes. None of these are shit the book, probably. Got to redo that list, right? So all this stuff's like, I mean, he's got all this weird stuff that I've like nobody knows exists. Solar, Man of the Atom. I think I have those issues. I'm not sure. Curse the Weird, Dark Dominion, Defiant. Now, this is a wild one. I do actually have this. Now, I did a video about this one a while back. And I thought about copying this idea. It's not actually like, it's not an actual comic. This is it, Dark Dominion. And you have to like collect all the trading cards to get the actual comic. And so they're all just trading cards. I thought about, again, doing something like this for Subscribe Star supporters because it's ridiculous. I think it's pretty cool. But at the same time, like, you know, that's a pain in the ass to like logistically do. And I don't think anybody actually wants, they'd probably rather an actual story rather than this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, and Jim Shooter wrote that. So that's pretty cool too. Jack Kirby's Secret City saga. He did the covers for. I actually have that too. I have that in the box back here. So interesting. Monster Menace, Overstreet. So he did some pages for Overstreet. That's just random stuff. Star Wars Galaxy Topps cards. Monster Menace covers. So a lot of stuff he like aren't actual comics at this point. They're just like, here's a 6-page comic, Marvel's Heroes and Legends. Revision of Fantastic Four Annual. Number 6. I don't know. He did a Power Ranger story, which I have in the omnibus. Robin Snyder's History of the Comics. Steve Avenging Tales. I have these. These are, I think I have these stories in something else. The problem is there's not a good like what is this reprinted in list. This is all that exists for a list for Steve Ditko. Yeah, making this into a checklist of some sort would be pretty useful, I think. And I have all these Steve Ditko packages. These are all reprinted in the packages, so it's fine. But yeah, so it looks like the only thing that's left is like there was a that I missed. What's after the 70s, which I'm ignoring for now because they're making those. There's a Blue Ribbon Comics issue. These 3D Blue Ribbon Comics number 12. Coyote from Marvel. These 3D things, some GoBots stuff, and that seems to be all I'm missing at this point. And then Cracked, which I don't even know if I'm going to bother with. That's tough. 1-page stories. Jeez. But that's all that's missing. Now, so all that exists. 4-Color Magazine. Oh, that's just an article. See, when it says article, that means he just did a single illustration for an article. So I'm not really that interested in those. The Destroyer Marvel Magazine. I'm gonna try to find that. So I have a bunch of other random stuff. So this is all the Robin Snyder later stuff right here. This is a random indie book called Pope Hats, which has nothing to do with any of this. This is a guy from Canada. But Ditko also did Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, my friends. 3 issues it went. Hilarious. Ditko also did, which Razor Fist might be interested in, Phantom 2040. So this is the Phantom in the year 2040 in the future. And all 4 of these issues for that. Pretty fun. He did a bunch of work for What The? He did a story for the Marvel Superhero Fall Special. This is the Destroyer also. This is like a single issue of it, but there was a magazine version of the Destroyer, which was what we were looking at just now. He did a story for Marvel Age Annual. This is just Rancer. A what if story right here. What if Iron Man had been a traitor? He did a bunch of stuff as backups in these Marvel Comics Presents issues also. And then his final work in mainstream comics was actually these 2 right here. He did a short story in Shadows and Light right here, and he did a short story in Legends of the Universe 80-page giant. And he did the Spectre story in here. So very cool. Yeah, I was just showing off the Joe Gill Charlton stuff. That's all being collected right here in these books here. There's 2 books right now. They're going through each year. This is 1972. The first one was 1971. So I'm putting these together. If Drake wants to actually turn those into checklists, I can put those up on Subscribestar for everybody to download. That'd be cool. And then, of course, we can share this journey together. I know there's a bunch of stuff that was not reprinted from the 1950s. I might actually collect those myself and do a printing of those too. I'm kind of interested in that. That's pretty cool. Ditko out. Yeah, he did a bunch of space stories for Charlton back in the they're almost all. He really loved to do like 4 to 10 page comic book stories. He just was like, you could tell every story you want to tell in that. That's kind of his jam. And then he'd just move on to something else. I guess maybe it's an ADD thing. So he did a lot of that stuff. And of course that's tougher to sell. That's tougher to make into like stuff that like people want to talk about and collected edition, stuff like that these days. So a lot of it gets lost to history. And that's what we're finding happening here. But we're not going to let that happen. We like our history here. So yeah, get on the Subscribe Star. I want to get a 30th member this month. Is kind of my goal. We've gained 4 members of the month. I mean, I can turn my Subscribe Star into like reprinting classics and just like curating like classic books and stuff if you guys want to. That'd be fun. There's a lot of things I want to do. It's just like it's the funds and the time, right? And so restoring things costs time, costs money. Making things cost money, things cost time, and we just got to do it. And so we're almost there in terms of like, my main vision, as we know, is to make monthly comics that are just funded by this. And then we'd do like a biannual collection at a discounted rate or something like that, just to make that work. And that'd be fun. And so right now we're at 29 subscribers. I need about 300 in order to make that solvent. And then we could almost cut out of the internet at that point and just live off the grid on Subscribestar. And that's kind of the goal. I'd like that because, I like streaming and all this stuff too, but it's like I do this in order to get the creative process going and to be able to fund the creative process. I mean, that's the entire reason we're here doing this right now. And the entire reason I'm doing this is to get watch hours, because I want to get ads going on these comic reviews on this channel. And we're very close to that. So cool stuff. That's all my like random Ditko comics that have not been collected. I also picked up some alternate comics. I got King Cryptid and Eden. I got a big shipment from In Stock Trades with a bunch of Mark Miller stuff and some new stuff. I did an unboxing of that one, so I'm going to put up that video on the channel a little bit later. And I've got, what am I going to review next? I've got a ton of stuff just sitting in the background for if you guys want to see what I'm going to end up reviewing. Video. I'll show you. So here's my content, right? So I just put up, what did I just put up? Crusader #1. This is an indie comic. Oh, I didn't even put it. It's still private. Whoops. My bad. I meant to put that up. Now it's up. So I've also reviewed so far Werewolf X Explorers by Bad Idea Comics, another indie book. Avengers The Gathering Epic Collection review. Star Trek Eaglemoss New Frontier. And Gleipnir Volume 1, which I'm not going to put up till after book club. But I've done it. And so those are the ones I've got pre-recorded already if you want to keep up with what's being reviewed on the channel. And then, let's see. I'm going to do Star Trek Resurgence. This is a graphic novel, which is it's a big walking advertisement for a video game. And I looked up this video game. And I'm actually interested. I told Cider offline that this is like it's just a story video game. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure where you're just going through this like Star Trek world right here. And, oh, it's got a trailer. Let's watch the trailer. So I might actually play this on stream because I know I don't play video games generally, but having a Star Trek story, I'm kind of interested in that, especially as this ties right into it. So basically it is a fan fiction. Like these people made their own Star Trek ship, and then they tied it into a random TNG episode, as a lot of fan fiction does. And then so you meet the crew in this, and then that crew is actually in the video game here. And so the video game doesn't look the sharpest, but it does look like it's got a lot of heart, right? So I don't think they had a huge budget or anything, but they do have
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. Starfleet has tasked us with a mission of the highest priority. 2 formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war. While protocol might suggest we alert Starfleet about our situation, I think we're better off keeping this to ourselves.
You go first.
There's your choices, right? So you get to complete the mission or save your friend. So it's not a game in the strict sense. You're just watching a story or something. So I think this would be fun to play on stream, and I'm pretty interested in this. You're a dork, Jabba, because you hang out in my Star Trek streams. How about that?
No time to fight me on this.
If we can't go to war, we're sitting ducks here. It puts the mission and everyone on the ship at risk.
They respect one thing, and that is force.
Fiona knows about this.
Our losses are mounting. Yours are just beginning.
Look out! We're being hailed by the USS Titan.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Resolute.
We're up against something greater than we can imagine.
The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Looks cool. I mean, like, it doesn't look like, you know, like the greatest of graphics, but it just tells a story. It's kinda
Portal
cool.
6-3. We need your help.
So I might play that online. That might be fun. I think you alternate between playing the EXO, yeah, and then the engineer guy. That's true. That's what I read too. So this was a comic that like ties into that. And again, they like didn't put a lot into it. It was not the best. I'm going to be reviewing that soon though. Also going to be reviewing The Magic Order by Mark Miller because he said this was his best work. So let's see about that. We're reviewing Death Orb. This is the book for the book club for the Discord this week too. This looked cool. I just liked the cover. That's the reason I picked it. I saw the cover online. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. Judge a book by its cover. I've also got like this like Andrew Tate fan fiction book. I don't know that this guy's really hassling me in DM. Like, when's my review coming out? But God, do I really even want to review this? Like, it's not even going to get clicks. Like, ugh, nobody wants this for real. I mean, like, I don't know if I can handle like actually reading this. Oh my God, why do people do this? Ugh. No, I didn't read it. I didn't read it. So that's my list of stuff like to review so far, and so that's that. My gosh, the other stuff I've got is my in stock trades wish list. I'm getting close to where like all this stuff's just funding my comic habit. I still got to like be careful. Okay, so I already got this. Let's purge this from my wish list. I already got this too. Let's purge that from my wish list. And then we've got Amanon Volume 4. I need to get that. I got this on here, Barbarella, because Sarah Hoyt wrote this. So everything I've ever read by Sarah Hoyt's been completely unreadable. Completely unreadable. Have you guys read any Sarah Hoyt books? And she got mad at me years ago. I'm not saying this because she's mad at me, but her books are just unreadable. He sent it to, yeah, I do owe him a review. Yeah, I didn't buy it. He did just send it to me. I just like, oh, I've just not, I looked at it, I skimmed through it and I was like, I don't want to read this. Ugh. Yeah, I read Dark Ship Thieves. Like it was almost readable. And then the other stuff I've tried to read, it was like, whoa. But she got hired by Dynamite Comics. I have no idea how. And she's lost her contract at Bane. So I don't even know what she's doing these days. But I haven't talked to her in years. 4 years. Let's see. Sarah Hoyt. Oh, okay, she didn't block me on Twitter. Let's see what she's up to. But I saw that on here, and I'm like, that'd be interesting to check out her books and see what's going on. But here's what she's doing now, I guess. The majority of politics is a cope session for why economics doesn't apply this time. Something wicked this way comes. What's she say? It opens tabs. According to Hoyt. So I officially declared an invasion of our borders. Let's see, Greg Abbott. Even her articles I find unreadable. Like, they're just so long. Look at this. I just don't have time for that. So sorry, today will involve a lot of reading. Some of it published on this blog years ago. But if you don't do it, you'll be making castles in the air. It won't make much sense. Let's get, so, I mean, she tells us, instead of telling me what this article is about at all, she just says, okay, it's going to be long reading. Well, I mean, I don't know. She's got a Patreon. How's she doing on here? Wow, we've got more subscribes for our members than Sarah Hoyt has Patreon. So we have more clout than Sarah Hoyt these days. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys for making me a bigger author than Sarah Hoyt. That's good. How's she on Twitter? I've got double the Twitter. Oh my gosh. Wow, cool. Well, that makes me feel good. I outpaced and outlasted Sarah Hoyt. This is fun. I remember when she was like a big deal. I think her books just didn't sell. So, I think they just kind of dropped her after a while. That's what happened. She's freaking out about being hacked 2 years ago. And she ran the other thing she ran was the Mad Genius Club. Is that still around? Mad Genius Club. This was like some like low-level authors who like wanted to pretend they had clout, and it was basically Sarah Hoyt's little club of like people she was trying to get as her what like proteges and stuff. And let's see, is this by The Myths of AI? Is this by Sarah Hoyt? Who wrote this? Who wrote this one? I don't even know who wrote this one. Cedar Sanderson. I like Cedar. I don't know. Cedar's cool, but there's nothing like, nobody reads this. You got 7 comments, 8 comments. So it kind of fizzled out like most of these initiatives. But that's the stuff that went on back in the day. Yeah, isn't that fun? It's cool being a bigger author than Sarah Hoyt. Next is Larry Correia. Next is Larry Correia. We're gonna get there, guys. I have super faith. The trajectory of the way things are going is so positive. It might take a couple years to get there, but once we get to that sweet spot, things are going to be cooking, and I'm so excited. And I just love being a pulp writer and just writing random stuff. So, and that's kind of the Ditko ethic, which I really liked. And so if you look at the way Snyder and Ditko did things, their Kickstarters are actually really bland and difficult, and they don't sell great because of this. I'm a better marketer, and I'm okay, and that's okay. I don't have like a moral opposition to marketing like Ditko did. That's called being retarded. But he had this work ethic, and they had this ethic of things like, I'm just going to write what I feel like creatively, and we're going to do what we feel like creatively, and you're going to trust that I'm competent in what I do. And so you're going to be surprised by what we offer, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be enjoyable because of that. And so you never knew what was going to come out next. And that's exactly like kind of my like vision. I'd love to, like, I'm just writing a random Zorro novel now. Why am I doing that? Like, is that going to sell on Amazon? Absolutely not. But I've just always wanted to write some Zorro stuff, and I came up with a cool plot that like follows up on the actual original Zorro novel. Now, Zorro didn't really have a continuity. This is like back in the day, these pulp writers didn't really lean heavily into continuity. They just did not give a F. And so if you look at the original Zorro novel, it ends with Zorro unmasking himself, getting the girl. He's going to get married. It's all, I mean, they ended the story. I mean, it was like, and then he just wrote other short stories with Zorro where Zorro, like, nobody remembers that he unmasked himself. Like, there's no continuity at all. It's just, oh, okay. So that book sold well. So I'm going to write some more stories of this masked guy. And you're just going to pretend like he didn't unmask himself. And we're just going to move along to just do all these new characters. And sometimes there's different girls involved. And like, it's like everything, just like there's no continuity whatsoever. And not all of it's public domain. So my thought was to take the original novel, which is public domain, because the guy wrote it for years, right? So the later stuff's not public domain, but the first few are public domain. And I'm ignoring, because since there's no continuity, I'm ignoring all the first few except for the original novel, which is called The Curse of Capistrano. And that my book actually starts off after Zorro's unmasked himself and all that. Now, you can unmask yourself in the 1800s a little better than you can in the 2000s, right? Because if you just unmask yourself in a quiet, small community, it's not like the people up in Sacramento or Monterey or Los Angeles or whatever would know who you are. because I mean, it's not like you're caught on camera or anything like that, so they don't know. So you can still get away with being Zorro elsewhere, or even in your own neighborhood, as long as everybody's kind of on board with keeping your secret and helping you out. And so that's kind of where I'm starting things out here. And then of course I'm taking that a step further, and we'll see how that goes as we serialize that. So it's pretty fun. I'm interested. I don't know. Some people want me to do Fable stuff. And I don't know, I'm mildly interested in doing that, but I'm not like super interested in doing that. So the last thing I want for me is to have DC Comics like come down with some lawyers and just screw with my whole operation. Because there is a fight there right now. And as much as Bill Willingham says, yeah, everybody can use this, DC Comics is saying, no, you cannot. And so whoever like takes that leap is going to have to deal with that. And I just like, I've got, if my kids were out of the house or something like that, maybe I'd have the time to deal with that and the energy to deal. I don't want to deal with that. So I'll stick with like Zorro and some of these like old Charlton stuff that's for sure public domain that I could just like reprint myself and just do that myself. Got a lot of stuff in the works. It's a lot of fun. But I was going over my in-stock trades wish list, right? Before I got on the Sarah Hoyt tangent. Oh, because she was on the wish list, right? So I don't know if I'll ever get around to actually buying her book, but I find it curious that Dynamite Comics picked her up. Emanon, I'm very excited about. I'm just, not in a rush. I missed this new Avengers Epic Collection. I don't love that they're doing modern era Epic Collections. That's not my favorite thing at all. It is, but I'm buying them for now. So we'll see how it goes. Magic Order Volume 4, because I've got the first 3. Prodigy, another Miller thing. Deja Thoris by Dan Abnett. Now, I just saw, I was just scrolling and I saw this. Obviously, I'm interested in Deja Thoris as a character. And Dan Abnett's a wonderful science fiction writer. So I'm like, wow, I didn't know they had him. This Thunderbolts, I spilled water on my Thunderbolts Epic Collection and destroyed it. So I need to get another copy. That's why that's on there. I've got the Star Trek stuff. So I don't have, I bought all the Star Trek graphic novels except for the Discovery ones and the Lower Deck one. Because I'm just like, do I really even consider this Star Trek? I don't know. And so if there's a sale or something, I don't know if I'm going to bother with these. But they're on there just so I'm reminded that they're there. Incorruptible and Irredeemable by Mark Waid are great stuff. This is it's basically Kingdom Come 2. Where he makes Superman super corrupt and all that. It's pretty good, though. I enjoyed it. We got all the Spawn Origins. I don't know if I actually want to read the Spawn Origins either. I just have them on here. Dark Knight's Metal I have on here because it's a Batman event. And I don't know. I mean, again, like it's one of those ones like, do I really even want this? But it's on here. Top 10 Compendium. Alan Moore's Top 10 is supposed to be pretty good. Pretty good. And so I want to read that at some point. Authority by Ed Brubaker. I just love Brubaker. That's why that's on there. Mobius Library Art Edition. These are just like art books, so I don't know. But it is Mobius, so I'm interested. Space War. This is Ditko. And a lot of this stuff like didn't get collected nicely, so I was thinking about grabbing this. Golden Age Marvel Comics, Volume 2, I think. These are hard to read. Batman versus Bigby. This is Batman and Fables crossover. Usagi Yojimbo Volume 4. I just don't have Volume 4. So I need that. Here's a bunch of Aspen stuff I just haven't gotten yet, too. And that's the rest of... and then Astonishing X-Men Companion. Well, they're sold out of that, so I don't need that. These I just have as reminders that I'm like interested in those. But that's like my kind of wish list right now. I also want Batman... animated. There's a Batman animated series omnibus. In Stock Trades doesn't have it. Where is it? Do I have it up still? Maybe I don't have the tab up still. But I do want that. And let's see if I can find it. Where's my tab? Did I have a tab up for this? Got Barbarella up still. I've got a lot of tabs open. Jeez. Here it is. Batman, the animated series. This is the Batman Adventures omnibus here, and not terribly expensive. And Kelly Puckett's a really good writer. He disappeared. He just like quit comics, is gone, isn't on the internet. I don't know where to find the guy. But he did Batgirl when she was the Cassandra Cain one who didn't speak. It was really good. And so I figure this is pretty good. Yeah, fables are just mostly fairy tales and folklore. You could do your own thing with any of them. Yeah. Right. And that's why I'm less interested in doing it too. But I mean, his specific setting's kind of interesting on that level. Yeah, Ty Templeton. That's right. He was big in the indie sphere for a while. Pretty cool stuff, but I just like, I've spent too much money, so I just haven't bought it. And it's like, $90. So it's going to be a sec for that. And I was also interested in Absolute Superman for All Seasons, which is Jeff Loeb and Superman Seasons, and Tim Sale's book, because I've always wanted that, and this just came out too. But it's not. I mean, this is pretty expensive for 4 issues plus, I guess, some extra stuff too. I don't know. I've got a lot to read. That's the thing. I've got my to read list. You just saw the stack of Ditko stuff I have, and I've only so much time, and my space. I'm vastly out of space to the point where it's like a mess in here. So, and I don't like that either. So it's like I kind of don't want to buy stuff at the same time. So that is what it is. But that's kind of my like to-do list at some point. I'm going to be reading the King Cryptid stuff from Peter Simeti. And then I think the next Epic collection I'm reading is the She-Hulk early 90s stuff. And that should be it for now. So, guys, thanks so much for hanging out on the stream here. Really appreciate you going over Ditko stuff with me. Again, on Thursday, we're going to have Jack C. Harris on the channel talking about this book, and that should be fun. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have Dan DiDio on the channel also. So it's going to be quite the comic-centric work this week. And on the main channel, I'm about to go record a video making fun of Heather Antos again for the main channel. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Please get on the... Oh, I forgot to shill this. Quaff's going to kill me because he did this like as a percentage sort of deal. So I did not pay him up front for this. As you know, like part of our reviews here, when I hate these books, I yell at the camera and I go, "It's shit the book." And so this was a tag phrase from Testify HD, our good friend who died a couple years ago. So I'm monetizing his death. It's totally tacky. And here it is: shit the book, the T-shirt. And we also shit the book, the glass, shit the book, the sticker, shit the book, the sweatshirt, and shit the book, the fleece blanket for your needs. If you want to curl up with shit the book under shit the book, the blanket, you can do so. So thank you for checking that out. Yes. This was requested. And of course, make sure to get on the Subscribe Star, my friends. I'm looking for one more Subscribe Star subscriber for the month. And then we have like our target growth hit. And we've got about 7 days to grab that. And all the stuff is going to be going up on here. We're going to be doing a lot of work through here. As you've seen, I've ramped up my production of just like random videos and talks and just like things that are coming out. We're going to be doing a lot more on here. So check this out. Thank you so much, everybody who's on here already. Really appreciate you guys. We are growing. Things are good. And I'm very excited for the future. Have a great day. And read some good comics. Bye.